Hello, Eagles fans. I'm Chris McPherson, joined alongside Hall of Fame running back Brian Westbrook from the Mall of America in Minneapolis as we get ready for Super Bowl 52. And Brian, you've been with the players all week long. You've been talking to them. Can you get a sense of what the mood is like? Do you feel like that they're ready for this game?
Well, I thought it was important that earlier in the week they were a little loose. They're having fun. They were enjoying it. Wednesday came around and they're focused. They understand what they have to do. They're ready to practice. And they kind of get in that irritable sense. And I think that's what you want to have. You want those guys to say, get these cameras out of my face. I want to go to work and make sure that I'm ready for this football game. And I think that's what you got from the players.
How remarkable has this run been from your estimation, watching it and being in the facility on a weekly basis, being around the guys?
Yeah.
Just how remarkable has it been to see this team grow from what it was at the start of the season? Carson Wentz takes them on the magical ride, gets hurt, Nick Foles takes over, and they still find a way to get here to the Super Bowl.
Well, if you just look at the injury standpoint, to be able to overcome so many of the injuries, including, of course, Carson Wentz, that's been magical. But this team at the beginning of the season, the expectations just weren't very high for a lot of people, especially outside of the building. But for this team to continue to win through adversity, to stay together, not finger point, and go out there and find a win. They won 13 games.
Yeah.
That's been impressive. And, Doug Peterson, second-year coach, what can you say about the guy? He continues to motivate these guys and get it done.
Can you get a feel for the chemistry that's in the locker room? It's something that a lot of players have said that is unique, that has been absolutely remarkable. Do you feel how special that this group is?
These guys have each other back. There's so many opportunities for them to be selfish and make it a me moment, and they've all avoided that. They all are thinking about us, not me. And, when you talk about team sports, you have to have that. From that standpoint, these guys have done a great job.
As someone who has scored a touchdown for the Eagles in a Super Bowl, have you given the guys any advice, or what advice would you have for them as these final days tick away before kickoff?
When I talk to the guys, it's simple. Enjoy it. Take it all in. You guys are here. You made it to this point. But then as you get closer to the game, make sure you buckle down and stay focused. Don't go into this thing too tight, but you have to understand your job and make sure that you go out there and do it well.
You're close with Doug Peterson. How has his approach been during the course of the week?
I don't think Doug has changed. I think as coaches, you like to use your imagination, drawing up plays and things like that. But I think he'll continue to make it simple on his guys, make sure he's putting them in great positions, and he believes in his guys. He has an awful lot of confidence in them, and I think that's what you need as a head coach.
How important is it that Doug remains who he is and how he got to this level here? Because a lot of coaches on the big stage try to change their ways, try to do something a little different. It seems like the players can feed off of that and sense that the coach is trying to change things up.
Well, Doug has a good grasp of how these players feel. He understands the thought process because he's been a player. He understands his guys because he's around his guys enough, and that's one of his goals, is to understand the guys, put them in the right positions for success. He's done a great job of that. I don't see that changing in this game.
All right, B. West, my last question for you. Being the Hall of Fame running back you are, I want to ask you about the run game. Yeah. How LeGarrette Blount, J.J., Corey Clement, how are those guys going to be able to attack this New England defense?
Well, everyone knows Bill Belichick is going to take away something. And it may be the pass game early, may be the run game. In order for you to be in the right situation, especially on third down, to be successful on the most critical down, you have to have some run game. You have to be able to get your running backs involved, whether that's swing passes, whether that's draws, whether that's screens. Those are important things. These are game breakers that they have in the backfield with Clement, Blount, as well as Ajayi. These guys can make big-time plays and continue to allow this offense to roll. They have to touch the ball.
Are we going to be partying on Sunday night?
Yes, we are. This is a good football team, and more importantly than that, they've gotten better in their 2 playoff games. They've gotten better quarter by quarter, and that's a sign of a good football team, a well-coached football team. These guys are ready. I think it's going to be our night.
I think they're ready as well. I can't wait. Brian Westbrook, the Hall of Fame running back, joining us here on PhiladelphiaEagles.com as we continue to bring you coverage of Super Bowl 52 from Minneapolis. Everyone have a great Eagles Day.